Hey guys, True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today I want to discuss the what's next on the now former unified junior welterweight champion at 140, Jose Ramirez, coming off of his first career defeat, a close decision loss to Josh Taylor as they competed for the undisputed world title at 140 pounds. Ramirez fought hard. I had Taylor win the first round, and then I gave Ramirez the next three. And I really thought he was making a dent and getting through to Taylor. And then in the fifth round, I gave it to Taylor, but it was close. But then in the sixth round, Taylor knocked Ramirez down and really kind of set the tone from there, because then in the seventh round, he landed a wicked uppercut that, one could argue that fight should have been stopped in the seventh round. I have no problem with the argument. I'm glad it wasn't, because, the sentiment that the referee goes on is, it's a championship fight. You want to give this guy every opportunity to continue unless he's really 150% done. And, hey, it was close. We didn't know if he was 150% done, but, you could argue that he was. And, he didn't get it went to the scorecards. He came back in the championship rounds after Taylor decided that he had the fight in the bag, which he did. And, he won the last couple rounds. I had it 7-5 in favor of Taylor with the two extra knockdowns, 115, 111, a 4-point victory. The judges had it dead even 6 rounds to 6, but the 2 points for Ramirez gave him the victory. So, for Taylor gave him the victory by unanimous decision. But, Ramirez fought with his heart. He did. After that second knockdown, though, it seemed to take all the zip out of him. And, he just wasn't the same. But, he came on strong in the late rounds like he normally does. And, no shame in losing to Taylor, who's the top dog in the division now. So Ramirez has had a pretty solid career up to this point, pretty good career, and he shouldn't be bummed at all. But now the big question is, what's next for the former unified champ? Well, I think the first question that needs to be asked is, what division is next for him? Does he stay at 140? Does he move up to 147? He's given no indication of doing either one yet, but 147, I'm not sure if he's there yet, if he wants to yet. He's a big guy at 140, but I haven't heard anything about him having trouble making weight at 140. And, what is there as options at 147? There's not a lot. So, I think he's got more options at 140 right now, but those options got to want to fight him. So, let's run through the top 10 and see what he might want to do next following this defeat. Number 1 is a rematch with Josh Taylor. Not going to happen. Taylor's got a mandatory due for the WBO, and I don't think he's just going to factor that in. I feel he feels he won convincingly, and he scored those 2 knockdowns as big exclamation points, and I don't think he's going to really, weigh the option for that. I don't think there's a high demand for that right now. So I don't believe this one happens. I have Ramirez at number 2 still. Number 3 is former champ Regis Prograis. I would love this fight. I really would. I'm not sure Ramirez would want this fight after losing to Josh Taylor. But if he was serious about a showdown with Taylor, a rematch with him, I think he would consider this fight with Prograis, because I know Prograis also wants a rematch with Taylor. So if these two sides could come together to make the fight, I definitely think it could happen to get a rematch with Josh Taylor. But I don't think Ramirez wants this fight. I think Prograis would take it, but I don't think Ramirez would want it coming off of a loss. Number 4 would be a rematch with Jose Cepeda. I don't think Ramirez would want that. Cepeda would be down, but I don't think Ramirez, coming off the loss, would want to go in a rematch against the guy that he narrowly defeated the first time. So I don't see it. Number 5 would be a rematch with Victor Postol. Same thing. He narrowly defeated Postol the first time. why take the risk and fight him in your first fight coming back? You know, it wouldn't make sense. Number 6 is former lightweight champ Robert Easter Jr. Not seeing it. ESPN and Top Rank would have to get together with the PBC. There's not a high demand for this fight, so I highly doubt this fight happens. Number 7, Pablo Cesar Cano. If Golden Boy and Top Rank could work together, I think the fight's possible. Will they work together? I'm going to say no. Not for this fight. Possible, but not likely. Number 8 would be a showdown with Ivan Beriancek. I wouldn't completely rule the fight out, but I don't think it's on Ramirez's radar, or Beriancek's for that matter. But I wouldn't completely rule it out because I think it's a good slugfest and it's a fun fight, and maybe both guys would be down for that. But it would definitely move them back up the 140-pound ladder to get to the top, but I'm not seeing this one. And then number 10 is Adrian Granados. I would love the fight. The fact that Granados has been working with the PBC, though, for the better part of the last few years, I doubt the two sides come together, but I'd like to see it. So, Ramirez, I honestly think, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes the rest of the year off. But if he comes back before the end of the year, which I'm favoring that he does, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a catchweight fight just to shake off some rest and get a win, you know. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he jumps right back in and wants to fight a top-tier guy, or at least somebody he can move up the rankings against. So we'll see. I think the most logical opponent would be a Prograis fight in terms of what could be achieved with it, but I'm not sure he wants that. So I think after saying that, the most logical opponent would probably be somebody out of the top 10, you know, just to get back into the victory column against. So we'll see though. But I like Ramirez, showed a lot of heart, no shame in that loss, and I'm looking forward to seeing him back in action. All right, that's the What's Next on Jose Ramirez, the former unified champ. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.